given that f of x is equal to 2x squared plus 1 and g of x is equal to 6x minus 7, we want to find the following. So for part A, we want to find f composite g of 2. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is find g of 2. So what is g of 2? Well, that means we need to plug in 2 into the function of g. So this becomes 6 times 2 minus 7. So 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 minus 7 is 5. And now we need to find f of 5. So now we got to plug 5 into the function of f. So that means we're going to get 2, multiply that by 5 squared plus 1. Well, 2 times 5 squared is 25. So it's 2 times 25 plus 1. So that becomes 50 plus 1. So the answer is 51. Okay, for part B, we want to find f of g of x. Now, what does g of x equal? Well, g of x is equal to 6x minus 7. So 6x minus 7 is now going to be the input on f. So we're going to plug in what we have for x into f, and that is 6x minus 7. So now we have 2, and then if we square 6x minus 7, that is a perfect square trinomial. So that's 2 times 36x squared. Okay, and then that's minus 84x plus 49 plus 1. Okay, so now let's go ahead and multiply this all out. So we have 2 times 36, which is 72x squared. And then 2 times minus 84x is negative 168x. And then 2 times 49 is 98, and then plus 1. So we end up getting 72x squared minus 168x plus 99. So there is the result for B. Okay, now let's take a look at C. Say we want to find g of f of x. So now f of x becomes the input. So we're going to plug in f of x now to be the input. So we're going to replace f of x to be 2x squared plus 1. So this becomes g of 2x squared plus 1. And then we're going to plug that into the function of g. So it's going to be 6 times x minus 7. Well, x is going to represent the input, which is 2x squared plus 1. So now let's go ahead and distribute the 6, and we get 12x squared plus 6 minus 7. And we end up with 12x squared minus 1. Okay, now let's go to part D. Part D, it says we have g composite g of x. And that definition states that we need to take g of x. Well, we have g, which is the function on the outside, and then g of x is our input, which is 6x minus 7. And then that's going to become the input on g. So we have 6 times 6x minus 7 minus 7. And now we're going to distribute the 6. So we get 36x minus 42 minus 7. So we get 36x minus 49. Okay, let's take a look at the last one here. So the last one is part E. So we want to find f composite f of -2. So the definition states that we need to take f of -2. So the first thing we need to do is we need to plug in -2 into the function of f. So this becomes 2 times -2 squared plus 1. So 2 times -2 squared plus 1. And so -2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. So now we need to find f of 9, and we're going to plug 9 into the function f. So now this becomes 2 times 9 squared plus 1. So 2 times 9 squared, which is 81, plus 1. 2 times 81 is 162 plus 1, which is equal to 163.